Welcome back to the special New Year's Eve edition of East West Sports. Now we're going to continue our rollicking end of the year episode with a special feature on the top stories of the year in Chinese sports and a massive top 10 countdown, but first to the blogosphere. Now one of our favorite segments here on East West Sports is Backpage, where we look at what Chinese fans are saying about the hottest stories on the Twitter-like weibo microblogging site. Now, over the past year, Chinese fans have commented on everything from the Oscar Pistorius girlfriend murder case to David Beckham retiring to Shaquille O'Neal taking over the Sacramento Queens and, of course, Chinese soccer. And their comments range from insightful to angry to just plain funny. Now, as a way to look back on the year in sports from an international perspective, we present to you the best comments of the year. We start with what is the starting point for many Chinese sports fans, the national soccer team. Now, back in January, then head of the Chinese Football Association, Wei Di, stepped down from his post and was replaced by Zhang Jian, the head of what is called the GAS's Policy and Regulation Department. In other words, a glorified pen pusher. Wei's 3-year tenure at the helm of the CFA was marked by struggles, including China's failure to qualify for the 2014 World Cup. But after finally starting to get the hang of things, Wei was replaced by a man with a background in law. That prompted a user named Guigu's successor to write, "Right back where we started. They sacrificed our national team for 3 years teaching a layman soccer, and just when Wei Di starts to get it, we replace him with another layman." Since Zhang took over, China has undergone more changes, including sacking head coach Antonio Camacho. More on that later. The day after Valentine's Day, the sports world received a shock when Olympic amputee runner Oscar Pistorius was tried for the murder of his girlfriend. Among the many bizarre circumstances of the case, Pistorius allegedly shot and killed her after she entered his home, thinking she was a burglar. In response, Lolicon quipped, "The Blade Runner killed his girlfriend, proving once again even someone without a leg shoots straighter than Torres." That would be Spain international Fernando Torres, who has become notorious for his missed penalty kicks in big moments. Goes to show how tuned into the soccer world Chinese fans are sometimes. In April, pictures of Tsinghua University's annual bodybuilding contest went viral on the internet, in part because the school is known as the MIT of China. Among the many humorous reactions to the photos, CC Daddy B observed, "They remind me of the 15 yuan New Orleans roast chicken from the market, only they have 4 eyes." We might also mention that KFC is extremely popular here in China. Also extremely popular here in China is global fashion and soccer icon David Beckham. In May, the 38-year-old former England captain announced he would retire from the sport at the end of the season, prompting widespread speculation as to what his next move would be. But a Chinese user called Tyray8000 shooed aside all the hemming and hawing, writing simply, "Retire. It doesn't matter if you play soccer or not, you just need to be good looking." Proving that Beckham's popularity is not dependent on sport, especially here in China. That same month, NBA big man Jason Collins announced that he is gay, becoming the first active player in the 4 major North American team sports to come out. The news spread like wildfire as Collins received overwhelming support from nearly every corner. Some Chinese users, however, like Smart Idiot, had a different take. "He's so lucky as a basketball player. It's like if you put me on the court with 9 hot girls in bikinis." Well, I'm not sure if Collins feels the same way, but an interesting spin on things nevertheless. June then saw at least 2 sports stories that had Chinese fans riled up. First, tennis icon Li Na lost in the second round of the French Open and in her post-game press conference lashed out at a Chinese reporter who asked if she had any explanation for her fans back home in China.
我需要对他们说什么吗？我觉得很奇怪，只是输了一场比赛而已。
While many fans reprimanded Li for her insincerity, Cylinder Block saw it differently. Li Na is the only active Chinese athlete who's qualified to say things like that because she doesn't cost the taxpayers money. Well, that's because Li is officially independent of China's state-run sports system, spending and earning her own money. Unlike Li, though, former Chinese national soccer team head coach Antonio Camacho was paid by the state, but after an embarrassing loss to Thailand in June, was sacked. The fallout from the firing was messy, though, as Camacho cited a breach of contract and claimed an extra $5 million was owed to him. This outraged many Chinese fans, including Shenzhen Daddy, who had a solution. If Camacho's breach of contract is 6 million euros and the CFA can't afford it, every Chinese fan can donate 1 renminbi to get rid of him. Nothing like the soccer team to make Chinese fans' blood boil. In September, the International Olympic Committee voted on the 3 finalists to host the 2020 Summer Olympics, among them Madrid, Istanbul, and Tokyo. While Spain was undergoing economic hardships and Istanbul was seen as a wild card, Pretty Child 1860 made it clear who many Chinese fans would vote for. "I will support any candidate city as long as it's not in Japan." At the same IOC session in Buenos Aires, the executive committee also voted on which sport to add to the 2020 Olympic program. They eventually chose wrestling over baseball and softball and squash. An idiot standing in Old Trafford's response was short but to the point. "Damn, where are esports?" He was referring to electronic sports, the rapidly growing discipline of video games for which China actually fields a national team. Later in the month, English snooker player Stephen Lee was found guilty of match fixing so severe that the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association even threatened to slap him with a lifetime ban. Actor Zhang Jian didn't see what all the fuss was about, though. Fat guys need more food than other people, so what's wrong with match fixing? In October, the focus shifted to the upcoming FIFA World Cup in Brazil. The host country has been under immense pressure over the last couple months due to corruption, rampant protests, and time constraints organizers are facing. Amid all the turmoil, Run was actually relieved China didn't qualify. That's why our national team didn't want to go to the 2014 World Cup. They were so smart. And finally, earlier this month, controversy surfaced regarding the upcoming Winter Olympics. It was reported that Team USA mittens are made in China, prompting widespread outrage from patriotic Americans. But crazy dancing grasshopper thinks it doesn't matter where the mittens are made. Even if it's made in America, it's made by Chinese aunties in Chinatown. White people don't work in the textile industry. Well, like many who came before him, Crazy Grasshopper showed that sometimes controversy brings out the best in people, or at least the best in passionate Chinese sports fans.